This very brief demo is going to show how you can use the OpenSpirit Scan for Studio inside of Petrel to find all the data that might exist in external projects, and then be able to use OpenSpirit to readily import that into Petrel. So what we're showing here is Petrel 2014 running, and it looks like I've got a 2D window here where I've added a base map just so we have some indication of where our data is. And I have no other data in my project at this point. So let's go ahead and turn on the search capability. Normally this would be the means of finding data sitting in other Petrel or Studio repositories. But in this case we have a number of indices we've indexed, and we've indexed some external projects coming from Geoframe, OpenWorks, and Recall. And you can see some of that data displayed here on the map. There's some data offshore Gulf of Mexico, some in West Texas, some up in Wyoming. And we have a variety of different data types. We have seismic, well, and interpretation data. Coming from our Recall project, we have just the well logs and wells that have been indexed. So with OpenSpirit, we have the ability to index all these external data sources, and then using the normal search functionality within Petrel, you can quickly narrow down to the data that you want to import to Petrel. So let's just do that now. And let's say that we're only interested in Recall data, so we'll turn off the Geoframe and OpenWorks indices. And let's zoom in here into this area in West Texas. I'll try to center around there. And we're zooming in this area that looks like it's just south of Midland, Odessa. And this corresponds to wells that are sitting in my Recall project. But I only want to bring in certain log types. So let's zoom in a little bit more here. Let's say we're only interested in this area. So we'll go ahead and define a spatial filter here, where we only want to bring in data that's inside of our 2D window. And we also want to filter by using some keywords. I could have selected individual log types, but I want to use some wildcards. So I want to select, for example, all the SP curves. So I'll select all SP and then star. And now it's found that there are 22 logs of type SP, some variation in SP. Let's add to that list some other curves I'm interested in. Let's get some gamma ray types. So everything begins with a GR. And let's add another one. We want all the induction logs, IL star. And we'll turn all these on. And so now we found log curves of the types we're interested in. It looks like we found 31 log curves from a number of wells in an area where we want to be working. So let's go ahead and indicate we want to bring all those in. Actually, let's bring in the, instead of the wells, let's bring in the log curves. There's 55 log curves. We're bringing all those log curves. And if we import those log curves, it will automatically bring in the parent wellbores, so it knows what's required. So let's go ahead and indicate that we want to import. And this will be importing the data via OpenSpirit, because OpenSpirit can go off and connect to that Recall project that's sitting back on Linux. And it's now going to bring in all that data into our current Petrel project. It will bring in the well header information. It will convert it all into the correct coordinate system for the Petrel project. We'll also bring in all the well logs. And it's done that. So let's go to our 3D window now, and let's get rid of our search index. And let's turn on these wells we just imported. And we'll also turn on all the well logs. So let's just turn on all these well logs. You can see that in just a few seconds, we're able to very quickly find the data we're interested in this case coming from Recall, select the data both spatially and by some attributes, in this case the log curve types, and now the data is available to us inside of Petrel for use in any sort of Petrel-based workflow. So that's one example how an end user can interact with the output of the Scan for Studio.